We now have our first athlete of the day joining us, the former one lightweight world champion, Shinya Aoki. Shinya is coming off an impressive first-round submission over Eduard Folayang. Shinya, thank you so much for joining us. How do you feel after that impressive victory?
青木選手おめでとうございます。1ラウンド一本勝ち。今の気持ちをお聞かせください。
いや早い時間に試合して早い時間に終わったんで、なんか一日ゆっくり使えるなと思って、どう過ごそうかなと思ってますけど。
はい。Well, the bout started early in the morning and the bout finished early, so I have plenty of time left in today, so I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next.
Shinya, you now have 2 victories over Eduard Folayang, but immediately after the bout, you mentioned that if you had an opportunity to give him another fight, you would. Can you explain that?
フォレアン選手相手にこれで2連勝になりますけども、試合後にまた機会があればやろうとフォレアン選手に言ったと思うんですけども、それはどういう意図をしておっしゃったんでしょうか。
いや、なんか一生懸命やってきてくれたの分かるし、お互いこのコロナ禍において相手が変わったし、なんかこれでやめてほしくないというか、もっともっと一緒に頑張りましょうよっていう気持ちですよね。はい。
はい。We both had a change in the opponent, and he still he was prepared very well. So and he still wants Edward to continue fighting. So he wanted to say that let's continue together. Keep on fighting.
The first question will go to Jay Anderson of Cage Side Press. Jay Anderson, please go ahead.
Thanks very much. And Shinya, I just wanted to know, how satisfying is it to get the win in the rubber match between yourself and Eduard Folayang?
じゃあ、青木選手、一つ目の質問なんですけど、メディアからの、フォレアン選手とのラバーマッチで、勝利を収めたこと、どれだけ達成感があって、どんだけ今、どういう気持ちですか？
いや、あんまりない、誰に勝ったかっていう、とりあえずなんか、試合がすごく怖かったので、それを乗り越えれて、ほっとしてます。はい。
It's not about winning against who. He felt fierce before going to the bout, but he successfully won against him. So he's happy and satisfied right now.
And you mentioned after the fight, you'd still potentially like to fight Akiyama. Is that fight more special because he's another of Japan's great martial artists like yourself?
また試合後に秋山選手にもやるぞと言ったと思うんですけども、それはやっぱあれですから、秋山選手は同じ日本のスターでもあるから、ぜひ日本人対決を実現したいという意味でしょうか。
ですね。これは日本では大きなマッチメイクだから、やるなら日本で、ね、日本の人にやっぱ盛り上がる。僕日本人なんで日本の人に盛り上がってほしいから、やっぱやりたいなとは思いますけどね。
Well, in Japan, definitely Akiyama versus Aoki is a huge matchup. So, and Shinya, he's a Japanese, so he wants to deliver a great bout to his fellow people. So that's why he called out Akiyama's name.
Shinya, at age 37, you look to be hitting your second stride. You have now 4 wins in a row. How do you feel about that?
青木選手、今37歳ですけども、それでも4連勝中、もう連勝街道まっしぐらなんですけども、どう思いますか？
連勝してるっていうか、格闘技が好きで、ただ単純に楽しいだけなんで、はい、よくできたな。ずっと楽しくてただやってるだけです。
はい。The consecutive win doesn't really matter. He's just, keep on fighting because he loves the sport and he's enjoying it. So we'll just, keep on doing what he's doing right now.
Next question will go to Nick Atkin of South China Morning Post. Nick.
Hey guys, congratulations, Shinya, on the win. I just saw on Twitter that you posted a message to Sage Northcutt on Twitter, but Sage deleted the message he had written. Could you shed any light on what that interaction was on Twitter? You said something quite funny, but which I won't repeat here. But what was that about?
青木さん、試合後に誠司さんツイッターに書き込んだと思うんですけど、誠司さんなんか消しちゃったみたいなんですけど、ちょっとそのやり取りちょっと教えてもらえると助かります。
いや、なんか次は俺だみたいなこと言うから、いやいや、あんたね、試合コロナでできなかったのに次は俺だって、お前どの口が言うねんみたいな、このバカみたいな、うんこ食ってろみたいなことをちゃんとやってやりましたけど、はい。
はい。Well, Sage was tweeting, I'm next. So he was like, hey, dude, you were sick and you couldn't fight, so you're not the one who's supposed to say that, right? And yeah, I'll just skip what he said, but yeah, and he just cursed a bit.
Yeah, I pressed Google Translate, so I saw what Shinya said. But do you still want to have that fight then? And One Championship seems keen to do the fight, but do you not want to give Sage Northcutt that fight?
青木さん、ワン自体も結構乗り気で、誠司選手対青木選手やりたいと思ってますし、誠司さんも乗り気なんですけど、青木さん的にはもうやりたくない感じですか？
いや別に全然やれって言ったらやりますよ、誰でも僕。はい。だって、試合、政治のスカットがダメだから、じゃあ、ホラヤンってやってください。ああ、わかりましたって言ってやってるんで。はい。
Well, if he gets the offer, of course he'll do it. Like he's just fighting Folayang because Sage couldn't fight, so it's not his thing. Whatever fight he gets, he'll just do it.
Well, I just had another one. Eddie Alvarez just lost to Okura. Shinya, just get your reaction to that fight. Did you see the fight and were you surprised by that?
今まさに先ほどエディ選手が
はい、負けちゃったっすね。
負けちゃったんですけど、それ見てのちょっと青木さんの思いをちょっと。
まあなんだろうな、彼ってもう別にいっぱいお金も持ってるし、立場もあるし、別に試合しなくてもいい人じゃないですか。それでもなんかやっぱやってるんで、そういう意味でなんかシリアスというか、ハングリーになれないところはあると思うんで、この結果はなんか僕はちょっと予想してましたけどね。はい。
She was able to kind of predict this result because I mean, like Eddie, he already has plenty of money and he has a good reputation and he's already on the top, so he feels that like Eddie, it's hard for him to get motivated and get hungry again and go into the circle. So I mean, this result is kind of predictable.
I mean, and what does Shinya think Eddie should do next? And does Shinya still want to fight him in that trilogy, or does Shinya's more interested in Akiyama or in Sage?
青木さんから見てエディ選手はどうしたらまた強いエディを取り戻せると思いますか？あと今のエディのその敗北を見て、もうエディより誠司選手とか秋山選手との試合の方が興味ありますか？
僕はまあ一応なんか次エディみたいなことは全く思ってなくて、でまあエディがどうやったら元気になるかみたいな、まあ俺知らないっすよね。はい。なんか元気になる薬とかあったらいいですけどね。みたいなことは思いますけど、モネモネみたいになるんだけど、まあ僕はなんか実は若い秋山って言いましたけど、もっとなんか若い選手とやっていきたいなっていう気持ちありますけどね。
Well, it's kind of none of his business about Eddie, how Eddie can get back to his self, but well, I guess if there's like a medicine that makes Eddie happy and stronger, that'd be great, but I guess there isn't. So, but like Shinya, he's not really looking at Eddie's fight. He's more interested in like fighting like the youth, the young athletes. That'll be more interesting for him.
And and on the fight as well, Shinya, did Shinya ever feel in danger that Eduard had anything? Could Eduard actually beat him, or was Shinya just so confident that he was going to get him down to the ground and finish it?
青木選手、フォロヤン選手との試合なんですけども、何かエディ選手がフォロヤン選手がやってくるんじゃないかっていう恐怖の方が大きかったですか？それとももうグラウンドに持っていって決めれるっていう自信満々で臨みましたか？
いや、怖かったですね。やっぱり試合はやっぱり誰とやっても怖いもんですよね。はい。やりたくないなって思ってました。
He felt more fierce going into Edward's fight. I mean, even though it's not Edward, whenever he fight anyone, he always feel fierce, and you never know what's going to happen. So he didn't really want to go into the fight, but I guess he had to.
Our next question will go to Hamad Mir of MMA Diagnosis.
Big fan. Congrats on your win against Edward. You both were one-on-one going through this trilogy. Were you surprised at how easy this victory was for you? Did you expect it to be a bit more challenging?
青木選手、フォレアン選手との1勝1敗での3戦目だったんですけども、思った以上にすんなりいきましたか？それとももうちょっとチャレンジングな試合になると思ってましたか？
いや、もうちょっとハードな試合になると思ってたんですけど、 なんかグラウンドでコントロールして、エルボーがいいタイミングで入ったんで、それでなんか試合が傾いたかなと思います。
はい。He was he thought it will be a harder, more tough fight against Edward, but his ground control went well and the elbow dropped like in a very good timing. So I think that was the point where that favored Shinya.
You mentioned that you wanted to fight Yoshihiro Akiyama and Sage Northcutt. If you were offered out of the two, which one would you prefer, Akiyama or Sage Northcutt?
秋山選手かセージノースカット選手どちらかと戦いたいとおっしゃってたと思うんですけども、次やるならどっちがいいですか？選べるとしたら。
日本で秋山とやりたいかな。日本でね。
Ideally, fighting Akiyama in Japan.
Okay, in Japan, would that be in Saitama Super Arena?
埼玉がいいですか？
埼玉は武道館。
もちろんof course, Saitama Super Arena or Budokan, the best venue.
We got time for one last question. Our last question will go to Ivan Stewart of Dugout Philippines.
Shinya, I saw after the fight, Manong Ed told you something. What was that convo all about?
Okay. 青木真也選手、試合後にフォレア選手とちょっと会話を交わしたと思うんですけど、ちょっと内容もし可能であれば紹介していただけますでしょうか。
また何年後かにもう一回やろうって。
He said, let's fight again together, like a couple years later.
That's interesting. So does that mean also in one championship or in another stage?
それもまたワンチャンピオンシップでやろうってことですか？
はい、またワンでなんかやっぱり5年前に僕彼に負けてね、こういろいろ苦しいこともあったけど、そこから頑張ってこれたんで、まあ今回ね、彼も今負けてて苦しい時だけど、また一緒に頑張っていきましょうみたいな気持ちが、仲間みたいな気持ちがあるから、はい、またやりましょうみたいな感じです。
はい。Well, like 5 years ago, Shinya lost against Folayang, and after that, Shinya went through some struggle. He had a hard time, but he was able to overcome that. And I think Folayang is facing the same situation. He's losing a lot right now, but he hopes that he comes back again, and then he can fight again a couple of years later. And he just wants to, he thinks Folayang's a good friend and a good opponent. So yeah, hopefully he can fight again together in the near future.